She's an elected official, a businesswoman, an amazing volunteer. And she cooks, too. Who is she? You'll meet her coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Myrtle Beach Herald. We're focused on the 2005 March of Dimes Star Chefs Auction. And we're visiting with its chairman, the Honorable Lois Eargle, Horry County's auditor. Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Lois, thanks so much for being with us.
Good to see you.
It is early.
I didn't think you got up this early.
Well, you know, I got to get up for this show every morning. It's Friday. I'm wrapping up the week. You're my wrapping up the week guest.
Okay.
Which is the best way to wrap, and pretty in blue there. Look
like
at that.
Okay.
Wow. You wore that.
Well, I have to have something to match you.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
I've got my March of Dimes tie on this morning.
Yeah.
Actually, this was a tie. I think it's the Children's Miracle Network.
It is.
Perry Tuttle gave me this tie.
Yeah, it's March of Dimes, too. That's saving babies.
Absolutely,
and
with children on there, and that mission is real.
Oh, it is. I'm telling you, this year we have, you've met Ambassador Babies.
I have.
We have Riley Grace
Right.
and her Shaffles. She was born at 2 pounds. Can you believe that? And little Luke Parrott, he was
Right.
he when he was born, he was 1 pound. And today they are growing. They are doing well, and this is what makes. I guess this is what gives us energy for the March of Dimes, to know that the March of Dimes has played such an important part in the development of these children.
Absolutely.
And Greg, I don't have to tell you, but you know they can. If you don't help the children now, they won't grow up to be healthy adults.
Right. And the parents know this, Lois.
Yes.
The parents know. Luke Warren Parrott's parents, and as you said, Riley Grace Saffels' parents, they know. I think just last week you had Chris Saffels at the Palace Theater at one of the big events for the Star Chefs auction, talking to a crowd of folks, making sure.
Precious.
Riley Grace is beautiful. She is.
She was just so well behaved, you know.
Oh yeah.
She just looked like she was just enjoying life.
And she said he said she is, how old was she? Is she 18 months or
17 months old.
17 months old. A beautiful baby girl.
And now she was born with a hole in her heart.
That's right.
And he said today that everything, you know, that they had given her a good bill of health. So that's wonderful. And there's just hundreds of babies like this.
I know.
In South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
149 babies a week are born premature with some type of a defect. And 1 out of 8 across this nation are born with a premature or a defect of some type.
Right. 1 out of 8 across the country.
Yes,
That is amazing.
And whenever you don't have when you're born and you really don't have a healthy start, so many times it causes health problems as long as you live.
For
really.
life.
Yeah,
for life. And of course, there's still a desire to find a cure. I mean, when we say, of course, the thrill in a few weeks being out in San Diego, recognizing the Salk vaccine.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way.
There's a lot of exciting folks who will be attending that event, but the most exciting thing, you think about that they actually sought a cure and found a cure. And in this instance, the goal every day for volunteers in the March of Dimes is to find a cure to prematurity.
Yeah, this is the 50th anniversary of the cure for polio.
That's right.
And the Salt Institute out in San Diego, as you have mentioned, they're going to dedicate a wing out there in honor of the March of Dimes for the part they have played in the eradication of polio. And so we're trying to do the same thing with premature births.
Yes.
And actually birth defects
And
too.
birth defects across the board. Lois, if a viewer needed to get off to school now or out to work, what's a good number to call for someone to learn not only about the mission of the March of Dimes, but about the Signature Chefs event?
Okay, of course, 843.
Right.
And 488-3463.
Okay, and that's the PD division of the March of Dimes, headquartered in Conway.
Yes.
Okay,
And
488.
that's where our director, Joe Fisher, who is just a delightful, lovely lady.
She is, yes.
And Colleen.
Shanley, they're incredible.
So I think what is so incredible is the fact that those two people, they man that office, raise the money, and, I mean, by themselves. And we got a report up yesterday, and I believe that the report was like 4% of what the people raise goes to salaries. So that shows that most of the money that is
it's
spent.
It's a very thin organization on salaries and other things. Fundraising is a little part of that, but of course, as you say, a little sliver going to actual salaries there, because so much goes back into research and development.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of the leanest organizations, nonprofit organizations in the country.
Last year at our chef's auction, we raised almost 70. It was 69,000, a little over 69,000. And out of that 69,000, you know how much did it cost the March of Dimes? $14. We're trying to figure out what that was, Greg.
You're kidding.
$14 actually that we paid out. All of the rest of it went into our programs, and that as they say, that shows you the lean machine that they do operate under. So.
$14? You are kidding.
I'm trying to figure out maybe that's a couple telephone calls.
Y'all were calling to get more auction items donated.
Yeah.
And
this year is going to be awesome. The people are just going to miss something if they don't get there.
Yes.
We've got, right now, at this point, we have 12 chefs that's already committed.
Right.
We know good and well that by the time the chef's auction comes, November the 7th, that we're probably going to have somewhere like 20 chefs. And that's that is the chefs across the Grand Strand.
Oh, yeah.
And they're coming in and they're preparing their special dish. And that gives you a chance to sample all of the chefs across this
amazing
county.
Culinary treats.
Yes.
In Horry and Georgetown.
Yes.
It's a reason for folks from the PD to come down on a Monday night. It's a reason for folks to come in and say, I'm going to come down and enjoy and support the March of Dimes and enjoy at least 20, possibly more, amazing restaurateurs and their culinary treats.
We have a silent auction.
Great.
And a live auction, and we have a host of trips.
Really?
Hooters has donated 10 round trips, tickets.
Hooters here is, you are kidding.
To their whatever their destination it happens
to
be.
Right, sure.
And so it's great. And we're putting hotels and meals and all together with those, and it's going to be, they'll be glad they went. We had one lady that was at our meeting last week, and she said, oh, I just enjoyed it. She said, I got to go on so many trips.
Absolutely. Folks who have been dedicated folks buying auction packages.
Now, it's going to be on Monday, like you said, on November the 7th.
Okay.
6:30 to, you're probably going to be out by 9:30.
Sure.
It's just like that,
Oh, the night moves fast.
Yes. And we are going to have this year also, we're going to have the Medieval Times. In fact, in the matter, it's called Another Night to Remember.
Absolutely.
And remember last year they were there, and what a delight they were, and you can have your picture taken with them if you want to.
With the king or queen or some of the princes or other...
Lord, they call them Lord.
Lords and
yes, I
lords and
called
ladies.
one a king last week, and it was a lord. He said, that's okay, I've been promoted, he said. We're going to have a professional auctioneer. It will be there for the live auctions.
Great.
It's going to be a lot of good food and some things we added that was not there last year.
Really?
And it's going to be a good time. We're going to have a Christmas tree this year, and we're going to have ornaments on there with Riley and Luke Parrott's picture on the ornaments. And
great.
And they get to buy one of those and put on the tree because that's getting close to Christmas
time. It is, November 7th.
Yes.
Monday night, November 7th. You said from 6:30 to 9:30, 6:30 to 10.
Now, if you want to come in at 6 o'clock, it'll be fine, because even 5:30, really, if you want to go in and look around at all of the...
Check out the auction items.
The silent auctions, because it is a host of them. And last year, some of the folks didn't get there in time to really go around and look at all of the items. People in this area has been very, very generous. You, for instance, you have just been one of our premier sponsors.
So many, Lois.
And it's just wonderful that people like you will step forward and to help finance
We're prayerfully hopeful oftentimes that it's a domino effect. Some folks make some donations. That's part of the way I got involved with the Heart Association originally. And even the March of Dimes. You make some small donations and they begin to pull you in for larger things, and it trickles down to many other people.
Yeah. Well, how's Emma Grace doing?
Emma Claire is doing very well. You got at least the first one there. That's right.
Emma Claire.
She's doing great. Thanks for asking. We were in Durham last week for the annual checkup for her. She was born with a cleft palate. One of the many birth defects. The March of Dimes has been instrumental to try to fight and learn ways to not necessarily to stop it from happening, even though that's a laudable goal and one that a lot of doctors are working on, but obviously to help correct it after it happens. Many children born with cleft palates and cleft lips. Fortunately, she was only born with a cleft palate, little hole in the top of her mouth, but she's recovered very well. She's a 40-inch, almost 3-year-old. She'll be 3 years old in a little less than 2 weeks. Lois, we got a big birthday planned, birthday party planned. Yeah,
that's a precious age.
It is. Did you have any girls, Lois?
Yes, I have a set of twins, and they were born premature.
Is that right?
And
twin daughters.
Twin daughters, but that was before they. That was back in 1956.
Wow!
So can you believe that?
When you were virtually out of the womb then. 56. You're talking. That's 50
40,
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be 49 this year.
Wow.
And they were, in fact, I didn't know I was going to have twins until they were born.
Are they identical or fraternal?
They are identical twins.
They're identical twins. And they live where?
One lives in Conway and one lives in Lexington, right?
South Carolina. Yeah.
South Carolina. And I didn't have any problems with them, although they were very, very small. I brought them home before they were even 5 pounds.
No way.
So they had to have a lot of care, but it wasn't that they had to be placed in an incubator or something like for a long period of time. And I have another daughter and a son.
You do?
I have 4 children.
You have 3 girls and a boy. That's fascinating.
It is.
I think I saw in reading a little piece about you, there was some talk about 2 son-in-laws who are both ministers, I believe, and then...
Well, I had a son that was a Baptist minister, a son-in-law was a Methodist minister, and a son-in-law was a Catholic, but he's not a priest.
That's right. Who called Jimmy Carter was the best president ever. Yeah,
yeah.
The best president
so
ever.
I said, well, if I could handle that, I could probably handle being in politics.
That's exactly right. And speaking of politics, of course, we said the Honorable Lois Eargle. I hope you don't mind. I dropped down to Lois after getting honorable out once. We could say chair, and you're now the chair-elect for the Horry County Division of the March of Dimes, which is a huge honor following in Nick Sherfacy's footsteps.
Yeah, I'm just awed by the challenge.
A tremendous responsibility, Lois. Are you sure you want to take that on? You've taken it on.
Well, someone has to do it, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's right. That's exactly right.
Somebody has to do it.
And, of course, the Chef's Auction, what we're thinking about now, one of the big events of the year, but you'll also put on a $200,000+ fundraising event on the Horry County Walk America, as well as the Georgetown, Lake City, so many other walks. This is the Horry County Division, but still, the PD Division's involved in so many walks.
Well, Ms. Fisher, she's responsible for the PD Division.
Right.
And so that's and they do. They have walks even as far away as Marlborough County, Dillon County.
Dillon.
Yeah. And we have, of course, we have the real estate breakfast.
Yes.
And this year on the weekend of I think it's the first Monday in September, Labor Day.
Labor Day, yes, yeah.
They're having an event over at
Ocean Lakes. That's right.
And it's called Roast a Dog and Save a Child.
Roast a Dog and Save a Child? Who came up with that idea, Lois? Oh, did Your Honor. I mean, the Honorable, yes. Wow.
What that is, of course, is a hot dog.
Right.
The Ocean Lakes Campground has been so gracious in letting us use their facilities.
Oh, yeah.
And also they are going to pass the flyers around to all of the folks who are in the park, and that weekend's going to be a huge crowd.
Yeah.
And so you get 2 hot dogs and you get a drink for $5.
2 hot dogs, a drink for $5.
Yep.
Now, are folks from outside of Ocean Lakes invited in, or is it just an Ocean Lakes crowd?
They can come in for that too if they want.
Great, good to come in to visit that. That's at their big new family center there near where the laundromat is. Very easy to find if they're coming in.
The Shriners are coming in to cook the hot dogs.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and it's going to be a nice. This is the first time the March of Dimes has really tried this. So if it's a success, we may do that.
I think I saw. If you want to get something done, you ask Lois Eargle to do it.
Well,
if you want to get something done, and of course the other great thing is you get ideas out. Thinking of an idea like that and getting a group like that in to make it happen.
We really had to put when we sent out the flyers to put on Roast a Dog, and we put hot dogs. We don't want to be out there roasting.
That's
the
right.
dog.
You'd have the Humane Society
That's
after you. That's exactly right. Probably Pavlak and others.
They
That's
would.
right. Oh, no,
They
those
figured
cats.
the cats would be coming
Sorry,
next.
yes,
So
yes.
if you go roast a dog, you might have to roast a cat, too.
You mentioned elected office. You've served both as a representative, I think District 105,
That's right.
as well as been the countywide auditor for how long now, Lois? Not to date you there.
12 years.
12 years.
12 years, and of course I was, I had a presidential appointment from Ronald Reagan,
I remember that.
and then I was on Governor Carroll Campbell. He
I saw
appointed
that.
me on the Highway Commission.
From 87, 89.
Yes.
That's right.
And let me tell you, during that time was whenever we got the bridge, Sockety Bridge, out as a separate project. Sockety Bridge originally was in all of the work that's just been done.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever I was a highway commissioner, we got it out as a separate project, so that it came in years and years sooner.
Is that right?
And so what did they do? They named the bridge after a man from Greenville.
It wouldn't have been a woman's name, albeit these days,
Yeah.
women are coming on so much
Yeah.
stronger than possibly in the late 80s,
Yeah, and then I recommended the 4-lane and the
He
544.
named it after a man in Greenville. Listen to you. No disdain about that. I'm sure he's a special guy. Probably one of his family members watching this morning.
Probably so.
Well loved throughout the state. Have there been any Lois Eargle bridges yet?
No.
Not yet.
No,
Roads?
No, I have a Lois Eargle home for the men retarded.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought you were going to say my husband and I have one. Right, yeah.
That's an adult, for an adult.
Is that right? Where is that?
That is in Conway. Mhm.
You've had a appreciation for mental retardation for a
yes.
long...
When I was in the legislature, that was my project.
I think I saw you were real active with Easter Seals and
Yes.
on their state board or helped launch it locally.
Yeah, I was on their board for years.
Mm.
So I just feel like God has put me in here to help people. I mean, that's the reason why I love my job, is because I help people, and that's what. And you do too. That's your
We're not
focus.
talking about me though, Lois.
I
The
know
show
that,
is
but
on.
That's your focus. And you know what? I know you. When you do something for someone or an organization, it just blesses your soul. You can see it in your
It
eyes.
does.
Yes.
It does, absolutely.
And
I think
that's-
for everyone,
and,
that's right.
This area, and I know that you have witnessed this. This area is the most giving area. Horry County, they have the biggest heart when it comes to
You're right.
charities and helping people. They really do, and we're blessed for that.
There are an amazing number of folks who both ask for, seek, but who are truly needy in this area, who help either launch nonprofit organizations or have great established ones, like one of the many you're involved in, the March of Dimes.
Yeah. The teacher asked one of my grandchildren, "What does your grandmother do?" And they said she's a public servant.
She's a public serpent. Oh, no.
Some people
No.
might think I am.
Oh, my God. Listen to that. I'm sure there's a few detractors out there, but many more supporters, Lois, who've been following you, helping get you elected both.
Yes, they have.
And I think I saw there was a time, I hate to talk about times that things
Yeah.
you weren't elected for, but you ran for Congress as
I
well.
ran for Congress in '84, and I won the primary and lost in the general election.
Wow. Who'd you lose to? Do you mind?
Robin Talon.
Is that right?
Yes.
From Florence, yes.
Uh-huh.
And he
It was,
served for a while.
I ran as a Republican, and it was a Democratic area. But
Sure.
I did real well, though. I did better than than anyone
Right.
that ran, and I had a wonderful time. And from that experience, though,
Mm-hmm.
and from that's when I got my appointment from Ronald Reagan.
Is that right?
Yeah. I
He found out about you then, sure.
His attention.
That was the 6th district.
That's
The one that Ed Young went in
That's
with
it.
Richard Nixon and out
Remember
with
that.
Nixon, yes.
Mhm.
And John Jenrette.
and also John Napier.
That's right,
John
of
Napier
course.
served.
Wow.
He had served one term.
That district is much different now. I
Yes.
believe that's Jim Clyburn's district.
Yes, it is, and it goes all the way to really up to
It's
almost
spread out.
to Hilton Head, I believe. Up in
Covers
that
a
area.
lot of the state, that's right.
But there is some talk that in the next
Cycle.
that it probably we're going to probably go back in the 6th district. I heard that just a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
So
I wonder if South Carolina will get a 7th district, Lois. I mean, the
Could.
population increases
I
have
know.
sure
I know
changed
Henry Brown
dramatically.
won't like that. He
Henry-
loves Horry County.
Henry Brown may not like that. I don't see, and of course, anyway, we can't talk about that. Forgive me. We'll have to do that another
Well,
time.
if I'm on a program, we have to sneak in a little bit of politics.
That's right. That's right. What was it like running for office the first time, Lois?
That's another whole
Okay, sure. We've only got about 7 minutes, so we want to focus on November 7th.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I would love to come back and let's have a program on women, how it was back in 1976 for women running for office.
That's a great idea.
Because that was not a popular thing to do.
I bet it wasn't. I bet it wasn't.
But I made a difference.
Yes,
That's the reason why I ran. I wanted to make a difference. There's some things I wanted to change, and we changed them.
Yes, you did. You know, you, like my grandmother, ran against and you were running against an incumbent. She ran against a next-door neighbor who'd been an incumbent on Durham City Council in 1951, excuse me, 1951.
Did you win?
She did, and served 5 terms, 4-year terms, that's right, until
Isn't
71.
that-
Stopped to the year
1951. Well,
husband died.
She was a special lady.
She was. She sure was.
Yes.
Again, not the focus on the Star Signature Chefs event. You said you all have 12 chefs currently locked up.
Are locked up, and I'm sure that we'll have at least 20.
Right, right.
And okay, don't forget we have medieval times.
Yes.
It's another night.
Another night to remember. And of course, this is K-N-I-G-H-T, another night to remember.
Yes.
For our viewers in the PD or southeastern North Carolina, or even down here who've never attended medieval times out at Fantasy Harbor, right there off of 501, an amazing location. Have you ever seen a show there, Lois?
I've seen it several times.
You've got grandchildren, that's right.
It's wonderful.
Is it great? Yeah,
Yes.
I have not yet.
But it's wonderful,
will.
and they're going to be at our chef's auction, and they just participate in it, and it's and see that we always decorate like a castle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a castle, and the atmosphere is just it's awesome for that, the atmosphere, and we'll have a good time. Those who attend have last year, of course, that was whenever I was the first time I was the chairman,
Right.
but had expressed to me how much they enjoyed it.
Oh,
And even the chefs told me then that this was, I went around and thanked each one of them, for participating. And they said this was one of their favorite charities that they cooked for. So it's a wonderful event. We're going to have several dinners and parties and all to auction off. I think Greg Everett auctioned off a
Greg Everett purchased. Yes, that's right.
A dinner last year. It was a Thanksgiving dinner, and he claimed it in April the 13th.
That's exactly right. I think you brought a picture to reflect. We had some spooky person show up at that event. Can you share with the viewers a little bit about? Let's see if you hold it right up there at your chest level. I think we probably could. That's a fascinating shot there. I'm not sure if
that's the March of Dimes event.
That's right. Who was that? Who was that I'm looking at? Who the heck is it?
I was the entertainment.
Oh yes,
yes,
absolutely. Worthy entertainment.
And
Thank you.
you could not believe I was dressed up like that. That you could tell that by the expression on your face.
I was thoroughly shocked. That's exactly right. A magnificent event. Another great way that folks can get out to purchase events or dinners like that. You donated that Thanksgiving.
We had 14 there, and
That's
we
right.
had your lovely home, and it was. We had the table all set, and everybody sat around the table.
I couldn't believe we fit everyone at the table there.
And
That's
we
right.
just had the best time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even some of the folks who arrived late were thrilled about the Thanksgiving feast, and to think of a Thanksgiving feast in April.
That may
it's
be
a rare
more
thing.
special.
That was.
Yeah.
Maybe you should promote it that way this year. A Thanksgiving
we could do
feast
that.
anytime you want.
Yeah.
Anytime you want. It was amazing food. You've been, and of course, you said you had 4 children, Lois.
Mm-hmm.
The excitement, of course, for preparing for a lot of people.
I love to cook.
You do.
I really do. I could get in the kitchen right now and cook for 25 people and just not think anything of it.
Is that
and
right?
I have a lot of company in my home and thoroughly enjoy it. And
Where'd you pick up that love of cooking?
my mother.
Really?
My mother. That's
You give
what
a lot
she
of credit
was.
to your mother.
Yes, my mother. She was a very wonderful lady.
Mm-hmm.
And if you went to my mother's house, you had to have something to eat.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
So no one left thin.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm amazed that
You kept your shapely. That's right. Yeah.
Because she really liked to cook. Of course, that was and of course her mother did too. And that was we used to have these big family dinners, and so much was discussed and around the family table, and it made the family stronger, and that's what I want. And my home is a strong family, and my home is a home that people, whenever they come, they feel welcome, and that's one reason why I'm just involved in the March of Dimes as well as I am. And I've been involved in work, doing some charitable work with the March of Dimes for about 45 years. When I was in Sumter.
That's right. You were born in Sumter.
I was born in Sumter, and that's whenever we organized for polio. And all of this, the eradication of polio, remember, was the money came through dimes.
Right.
It wasn't back then. It was just dimes.
Right.
President Roosevelt, he had polio.
Oh, yeah.
And he was the one that started the March of Dimes. And it's just like we say, we had accomplishments with polio. Now we're going to do the same thing with birth defects.
Absolutely.
I'm sure everyone that's reviewing today knows someone who has had a child who was born either premature or either with a defect of some type.
Absolutely. Everyone has that occasion.
Yes, they do.
And fortunately, so many born that way come out strong and continue to grow. Lois, thanks so much for being with us this morning. I'm sorry we've run out of time.
Run out of time.
26 minutes, that's right.
We
Yes.
just started.
We just started.
Yes,
We'll have to get
thank
you back
you
another
so
time. Thank you
much.
so much for being with us this
It's
morning.
worth getting up early just to come be with you.
I love to hear that. That's great. Just stay seated a second. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with the Honorable Lois Eargle coming up next. Saving babies together. The mission is the same for every volunteer of the March of Dimes. Saving babies together. Those three words are what it's all about. It was the mission way back when it was finding a cure to polio. It was saving adults. It was saving everyone who's inflicted with polio. Now it's saving babies together. And we can do it as a volunteer. And you can be a part of that. On Monday, November 7th from 6:30 to 9:30, you heard Lois say it. Come early. Myrtle Beach Convention Center. Myrtle Beach Convention Center, the 5th annual Signature Chefs event for the March of Dimes, saving babies together. 843-488-3463. There's sponsorship opportunities. You and your company can be a part of sponsoring to make a difference. There's sale of table opportunities. You can buy a table and bring some friends and family to be there. Saving babies together. 488-3463. That's a Monday night, November 7th. Get it on your calendar. You say you'd like to kick off the week in a good way. Make a difference. Save a baby together. Be there.